The ball into the box again. The shot. And just look at that. What's that? That's Joao Neves, I guess, and Achraf Hakimi. Achraf Hakimi not really being decisive with the ball, and you can see, Force's reaction here, not the best. But Pedri at this point should be doing better. Though that was the stop from Nuno Mendes. That is just world class. This guy is a tough customer.
Josiah, one thing I've always believed in is the fact that in the attacking third, right, the most important thing to do is the simplest of things. If they had threaded that ball in quickly, that would have been a dangerous ball. And for a player to be in attacking third and still want to hold on to the ball for so long, I really sometimes don't understand the reason for which they do that.
Interesting. So other games currently ongoing. There's PSV away to Bayer Leverkusen. They scored, but then that goal has been disallowed. So PSV haven't taken the lead against Bayer Leverkusen. There's Arsenal taking on Olympiacos. City are away at Monaco. Then there's Dortmund Athletic Bilbao. Napoli Sporting. That should have been the first goal in this game. And it's Ilya Zabani, the Ukrainian who signed for PSG from Bournemouth. But then that delivery, sumptuous ball into the box. Zabani gets his head to it, but then just couldn't direct it downwards a bit. And that is by far the best chance we've seen so far in the game.
That is the best chance in the opening 15 minutes. It is coming from, you would have to use set pieces, especially in matches like when you are not getting glaring and open chances. Set pieces are one source of getting opportunities and goals.
All right, so set pieces clearly would really mean a lot to both sets of teams, in this particular game, especially for PSG. We've seen their defenders, Paco and then also Zabani, hungrily and viciously attack some balls already in this game. But you'd be thinking it's not time for PSG to also flex their muscles. They've not really strung any passes together, but then that's a good ball into space, and it's Bayulu who just get onto that. He's been policed by Eric Garcia. He tries to, lift that one over Garcia. Garcia recovers very well. Barcelona with possession down, and they just have to play themselves out of trouble. But then cleared in field by Eric Garcia, and that ball will be intercepted, by Fabian Ruiz to Lucas Cavalier. And it's lovely to see these teams try to do what they do best, and none panicking, none showing signs of incompetence. It looks like this is just a flawless game so far.
It is not yet a flawless game, because we have seen a couple of missed passes here and there. But the most important thing is that, especially when you are playing from the back, you will have to be 100% focused, because we saw Vitinha lose the ball a couple of times while trying to play from the back. So there are pockets of mistakes that are likely to occur, especially when you are playing from the back, and it's very, very dangerous. But so far, on the totality of play, I think that it's been great, because we all know that it's going to be an attacking football and a lot of passing compared to more direct football. So far, that is what we've been able to see.
So Arsenal are 1-up in their game against Olympiacos of Greece. But then now it's PSG. Oh, come on. But I'd be surprised if this game should end barring. No, come on. You can't have PSG and Barcelona play. That would be unfair to any football fan. For PSG, Barcelona to play a game of football, and after 90 minutes, it's barring.
It will not only be unfair to the supporters, but to the attacking.
All right, so this should be the first goal for Barcelona. Oh, cleared off the line. The flag stays down, and that was a big chance for Ferran Torres. He rounded Lucas Cavalier, but then unfortunately, that shot planted was just intercepted by Ilya Zabani. What a defender that was. Interesting.
We were just talking about the game ending goalless, you understand? Yeah. That chance should tell you that it is quite impossible for this game to end barring, because there's so much attacking talent on display for this match to end in a scoreless draw. So I do very well believe that there are going to be goals, just that it's going to probably take time for the goals to flow.
Right. So perhaps it's optimistic, but then it was Yami Lamar with that pass with the outside of his boot again, from that magical left foot of his, and perfectly weighted as well. Just look at that. Ferran runs towards it. The first start to round up past the goalkeeper, and Ilya Zabani. This is just ridiculous. Marvelous. Wow. So that's the game we are bringing to you. Let's hear from you as the Al Media channel watch along, and as the UEFA Champions League end-to-end staff over here. Bradley Bacola been bundled onto the turf by Eric Garcia. Referee says play should continue, and that was legal by Eric Garcia. And we've seen a bit of everything: directness, skill, panache. We've seen everything there is in the game of football, barring the most important statistic, which is a goal. It's not time for Barcelona to take over possession now. Kabasi finds Eric Garcia to Lamine Yamal. Will he thread one of those passes again? He does again, and that's becoming his trend by the day. Again blocked. You would just love what this guy is doing from the right-hand side of the Barcelona attack. But another ball, and Bradley Bacola, a fraction or a second late.
He was late because he did not anticipate, you understand, as an attacker. Earlier on I was talking about running in behind the defenders, and that is exactly what he should have done over there. You see, as a winger or as a centre forward, there are things that you should expect your attacking midfielders to do when they have the ball. And when there are spaces as an attacker, you don't wait for the ball to be threaded in before you start your move. You get your move in before the ball comes, because if he had taken off before the move comes in, that ball should have been very dangerous. But he waited. He lacked that anticipatory nature of him.
So I think anticipation gone wrong over there, and another ball being traded, and that's how Barcelona can be. That's how tough they can be. But then Arsenal won up. It was Gabriel Martinelli who scored for them, and then Manchester City also won up. And guess who scored? Do you want to guess?
Haaland.
For 1 million?
Haaland.
Okay, Haaland. So I'll pay him 1 million after this game. So he has that right. And we still continue as a watch along our media channel. I'll be doing some of your messages very soon. If you're watching this and you're enjoying it, let us know where you're watching or listening to us from, because it's a typical UEFA Champions League night. But Paul Kabasi with an unforced error to give away the ball, and PSG are struggling to beat the offside trap. Now, they've not yet found that good pass so far, but then they win themselves a corner kick. Is that a corner? Yes, referee says it's a corner kick, and that decision is being also further affirmed by the linesman over there. You can see that was Mbaye rather. You're wondering how these guys are just starting for PSG. And we need to give PSG so much credit, because they really have depth in quality. They only had a very strong 11, and that was how come that was only what they needed to conquer you at that point.
Josiah, I disagree when you say that they don't have depth in quality. You might the people on the bench might not have the names as the people started the game, but they've got quality. You understand? Because so far we have seen some quality from them. So at the end of the day, I totally disagree when you say they lack quality.
Perhaps I would always agree to disagree. We'll always disagree to agree. But then Villarreal and Monaco just equalized against Manchester City. So it's 1-1 in that game between Monaco and Manchester City. And I don't know how Yamal is just doing that, but he's doing it with cheeky ease. And again, this PSG would regain possession. Vitinha and another on 4-0.